royalty soaps! My name is Katie. I'm one of the soap makers here on this channel. Some call me the Duchess of Suds. I answer to either my true title or my real name. Today's soap you guys are going to love. This is the one this month that I am most excited about. I know I've said I'm excited about other ones, but truly this is the one that I think over the longest amount of my life sort of encapsulates it. I've been obsessed with fairies since I was little teeny tiny, and it hasn't stopped just because I've grown up a little bit and have kids. In fact, I very much hope to pass on that love to both of my children. I love fairy books and fairy stories and fairy movies, and whenever I was a little kid, my best friend and I made up our own fairyland we called Fairytopia, which I will say I was convinced, because we made up that name before the Barbie Fairytopia thing came out, we were convinced that the toy company had gotten a hold of our secret maps and designs and stolen the name from us. I'm not joking. Like, we told my mom, I was like, they stole the name. They did not ask permission. This is not something that can be sold. It is something freely given. Like, I was outraged as like a 9-year-old. Quick note before we jump in and get started, we have a new email for you guys to email your soap designs to. I know a lot of you guys were saying, I want to send you in a design, but I can't actually mail it to you. We have an email up now. It's up and running. It's accepting designs. Please don't send anything to that email that isn't design related. If you need help with an order or something, send that to customer service instead. But it's up, it's available. I'll leave it down in the description box so that you guys can start emailing designs as well. And without further ado, let us create some soap. I am legit so excited about making this soap. I can't wait to stamp it. But before we can do that, we have to make the soap itself. So in goes the lye water. I am pouring it down the side. Then I am going to stick blend for 5 to 7 seconds. And then, using my spatula, I am just going to stir until all the oil that's sitting on top has been blended in. It is slightly more opaque now, of course, than it was when I first started blending. And we are now going to pour off the first layer. And in here is exactly 3 pounds of soap batter. I'm going to add in some black oxide that I mixed with oil this time. I'm gonna scrape out my little container. This is a biodegradable container made out of plants. I'm just gonna start mixing right here just to get that black off of my little spatula. Those containers are also compostable, and I'm gonna leave you guys a link to them down below because lots of you guys have asked me where I buy them. And now to my colored soap, I am adding the fragrance oil. We are using apple sage fragrance oil from Brambleberry today. I'm just blending this in by hand, and then we're going to pour this entire container into my large slab mold after this quick commercial break. Yay, the most fun part, pouring into the mold. This should be just the right amount to make the ground color. The ground is a black, and then the fairy is also black because it's supposed to look like a silhouette at nighttime. This is my first time working with this fragrance oil, and it is absolutely stunning. I will probably have to use this fragrance in future products because it's really that great. I started texturing this soap with a popsicle stick, but now I'm gonna try this whisk and see. Yeah, I think I'm gonna like this better. That way it has very kind of thin lines all around. I think that'll look kind of like grass almost. I don't want to rake this with anything because I feel like that'll just make it look a little too perfect. We don't want it to look that perfect. But to make it look spiky, I'm just kind of touching the top. I'm not even going all the way down. Okay, but seriously, the fragrance is so good. I'm also kind of getting stuff on the sides, and I'm just gonna come by and wipe that down before I pour the next layer. Tapping and bouncing, tapping and bouncing. So I have been a huge lover of the Fae folk since I was very, very small. There have been videos on this channel that I've already made sort of inspired by fairies. We had a secret soap collection that was actually like Fairytopia inspired by by the fairy imaginings I had as a child whenever I sort of played in fairyland. So it's been very much a big part of my life, I would say, very much so. And I absolutely would not feel comfortable doing a birthday soap without including fairies in some respect. Okay, so with the texturing on the black done, it is now time to do the rest of the soap, and it's gonna be blue and purple, so that's gonna be super fun. The black part of the soap has been completely textured, so I set it off to the side. I've added some purple Vibrance mica and a little bit of Eclipse glitter into this container, and then in this container I'm going to add a lot of blue. The first blue I am adding is blue ultramarine with a little bit of black oxide. That's just to deepen the blue, kind of a darker, closer to navy blue. We're also going to add some midnight blue mica. This is from Nurture. This is also a darker blue. And I am going to begin the blending process with my spatula. Okay, let's blend in that purple. Oh, I love seeing the sparkles in this because these mineral glitters from Nurture soap actually remain sparkly in your finished product. It is crazy. There are no other mineral micas, mineral glitters, whatever you want to call them, that I have found that have ever done that in cold process. Okay, so I'm gonna need to blend this one with my stick blender a little first. And now by hand, I am blending in the fragrance oil. And now I'm gonna pour the purple into the blue. I'm gonna start at one corner. I'm just gonna go around, and then I'm gonna go around and around and around and around, just like that. Going scrapey scrapey out my container. For some reason, this reminds me of Aladdin, and I don't know why. Oh, that's right. It is the rug. It is the magic carpet. Okay, so now let's pour this onto our black. Okay, so I have some help pouring this. We're gonna start in this corner and work our way around to the center. Oh yeah. This is gonna be a striking contrast. And because I let it mix together whenever the soap was really runny, there's only gonna be very small bits of the purple. And that's kind of the way that I drew it in my illustration, because it's just supposed to sort of represent a starry, beautiful night. It's not supposed to be like really harsh contrast of purple there. It's just supposed to represent nighttime. Oh yes, so beautiful. Thank you so much to my amazing assistant, Klebka. Yay. I am scraping my big container. Gotta get all that soap goodness out of there. So now, on top of the soap, I'm going to add some more purple Vibrance with some more Eclipse, and we're just going to do this, essentially. Just put it all around. I am not gonna swirl the top of this. We're just gonna let the purple soak into the top of the soap. It is a rare occasion that I do a top that I don't swirl anything on, but I think this is gonna make it look really amazing. Kind of galaxy-like, very ethereal, very magical. Now I'm just sucking up a little, and I'm kind of making a paint splatter with a pipette. This is a very thick mica drizzle, and I did that so it wouldn't run all over the place. You can see that wherever I'm placing it with my pipette, it's basically staying there. It takes longer to do it this way because it just takes longer for the pipette to suck it up because it's so thick, but it's worth it if you're trying to get a design that you want to stay in place. All right, got the rest of that blue on there. For the glitter on top, we are using Black Galaxy. This is from Fizz Fairy. It's a mix of black, gold, and silver glitter. And of course, it is biodegradable and eco-friendly. And I'm gonna be putting the glitter sort of in stripes, so it's in a concentrated area. Some bars will have slightly more than others. This is the artisan part of artisan soaps. And then from up really high, I'm sprinkling a little more, just so those bigger flaky pieces kind of settle by themselves and you can see them a little better. I also have a sample, I'm sorry, there's glitter like literally everywhere, but I also have a sample of this Mad Mica's Bio Glitter Silver, so I'm gonna use some of that too. There's accents of silver and gold in this soap. The fireflies are either gonna be gold or yellow. We'll see which one I like more tomorrow. And then the Enviro glitter in the purple is silver. So I feel the liberty to use both of them on top without straying too much from what the inside is is going to look like. All right, I think that about does it. So I'm gonna spritz the top very liberally. We don't want this to ash. Like, we really, really, really don't want this to ash. It'd be wonderful if it would stay very blue on top. And that's it. We are done with the first part of the Fairy Night soap. This is what it looks like up close. The glare on it is harsh, but hopefully y'all can tell just how blue that really is. Oh, man, it's just a beautiful tangle of pixie dust, isn't it? So we are gonna let this sit for 18 to 24 hours, and then we will come back and split the slab into loaves and cut the loaves into bars after this quick commercial break. Okay, it's time to cut Fairy Night. I can already tell that using the whisk to make this detailing was a good idea. All right, so let's press down gently after we line this up. And by the way, with these little extra pieces here on the side that are too small, that don't make a full-size bar, those go into our sample packs. So press down gently. Gonna pull a bar out of the middle. And this is what it looks like on the inside. Now, obviously, the soap isn't completed, but we have started out with a good base. You can see in the purple, little bitty sparkles. I'll hold it up a little well, I tried to hold it up a little bit closer, but it doesn't really show you the sparkles very well. But you can see them on top with that blue and purple and the glitters. So now that it's cut, I'm gonna take all of the pieces off, and then we are gonna move on to the next part of decorating. It's always really fun for me when it's not completed after this step. Like, after the cutting part, I still get to do more to tailor the bars. If you haven't seen my White Rabbit soap, that's a good example of getting to tailor bars after they've already been cut. It's an extra step, but it sure does make a really, really, really special masterpiece by the time you're done with it. Okay, so what's next? Now that we have the base done, we're going to add the fireflies, or what could be considered stars in the sky. It's just however you would like to interpret it. It was originally supposed to be fireflies, but whenever I showed it to other people, they were like, oh, look at the starry night. So to make the stars, I have mixed a little bit of yellow mica. This is from Mad Micas. I forget off the top of my head what it's called, but I'll leave you guys a link down below. And a clean toothbrush. This is a crafting toothbrush. I've mixed it with a little bit of rubbing alcohol. Alternatively, you could use vodka. And I'm putting it on the toothbrush and tapping off the excess. Then I'm just gonna take my finger and I'm gonna frink it, and it's gonna put these little yellow splatters on the soap. They're gonna be of varying sizes. Oh, what the heck, I'll do a few more. That is something my mom taught me how to do years ago, was to take a paintbrush and do a splatter effect that way. I also learned it again, or was reminded of it rather, in art class. I took a watercolor class, and that was a method that we learned in watercoloring to sort of make a spray. I used it for like ocean spray paintings, and also for anywhere that you wanted to add a texture. There's another gal who likes to do it here on YouTube. I saw her do it one other time on one of her soaps, Mama Bass handmade soaps. She did that on I think it was a Galaxy soap. I don't know. I watched the video a long time ago, but I also know that she did that on soap too. Here is the fairy stamp I'm going to be using. As you can see, she a bit dirty because I have already stamped a few bars. I am using black pearl mica from Nurture Soap to do her outline. I'm just putting a little bit of that black pearl into the lid, and then I am tapping my stamp all around. And then because these bars are still soft, I actually don't need a mallet for this. So I'm just gonna place her with her little feet into the black area. And then I'm gonna press gently all around, kind of rotating it in a little bit of a circle so that everybody is indented. And this is what it looks like after she's been stamped. Here's what the bars look like up close. It's just our little fairy looking up into the night sky at either the fireflies or the stars. You guys tell me, is it fireflies or stars? That can be our question of the day. And you can vote on it by clicking the eye in the upper right hand corner of the screen. So I'll set her off to the side. I'm gonna tap this in again, place it on the soap where I want it, go around all the sides. There she is. This was a really important soap for me to get get right, in my opinion. It symbolizes a lot from my growing up years. Simeon was like, oh my gosh, we're going to stamp all of them. And I was like, every single one. I'm just gonna continue to put this in place, stamp all the bars. All the rest of them I will probably just wait and we'll go ahead and use the mallet for. And then yeah, here is the finished product. So there's the top with the black and the gold glitter and then the blue and purple stripe. And then here's the inside with the fairy and her stars or fireflies sitting on the ground looking up into the gorgeous magical night. Do you feel the magic? Don't forget to vote on the question of the day. Is it fireflies or are they stars? I feel like a lot of y'all are gonna lean towards the star direction, but I still love the idea of fireflies so much. There's only 2 more soaps left until the soap release on July 1st at 8 p.m. Central Standard Time. One of them is Kenny's, one of them is mine. You will see his on Saturday and you will see mine on Monday. Kenny's is hecka rad. I have never done a soap like what he is going to be doing, and mine is very, very birthday themed. So you're gonna wanna stick around, click subscribe if you enjoy content on this channel. If you wanna be reminded of those 2 soaps, go ahead and click the notification bell. And until next time, have an absolutely marvelous day. Do something that makes you happy, whether that is going out into your garden and leaving a little bit of food for the fairies to come and collect overnight. You will be surprised they pick them up almost every single night. Or number 2, going and reading this wonderful book. This was my favorite fairy book growing up. It's called A Fairy Went A-Marketing, and I will leave you guys a link down below. Check that out if that is something that would make you happy. And until next time, have an absolutely royal day, and I'll see you all soon. Bye for now. Meow.